girl. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Faith, Love, and Coffee, our weekly podcast that we do at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 12 o'clock Central Time on Saturdays now. Woo-woo! I am Trish.
Hey, Jamie here.
Hello, I am Jeanette, and today we've got the beautiful Miss B joining us. Woo!
Yay! Excited to have a special guest with us today. So exciting to have her on with us. She came up pretty much with a topic for today, which is taking care of others while trying not to neglect ourselves. So, with that being said, Miss B, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, good morning. My name is Beatrice. I ended with a Z, not ICE, but I go by B, just the way it sounds. The letter B, the bumblebee. I live in Wiley. I am a mom of two. I have a 26-year-old and a 25-year-old.
What?
Yes, and what else can I mean,
That's pretty much it,
Yeah.
Tell us what drew you to be here with us today.
Well, I really just enjoyed listening to you ladies and just be yourselves, talk about different topics, and it just made me feel part of you guys. I felt that this was something that I needed, and it helped nurtured myself. Like it was kind of giving me like, this is your little time to take care of you and be with women that, range from different cultures, different ages. And it's like they share life situations, they share thoughts. And I take that in. And it's like, because sometimes it's just, I don't take care of myself. It's like I take care of my husband, I take care of my boys, I watch out for my parents. And so sometimes it's like, what are you doing for you to take care of you? And this is what drew me to you guys. And I thank Jeanette so much for that wonderful invitation when she shared, Faith, Love, and Coffee with you beautiful ladies. And I was like, I just have to chime in. So whenever I can, I will be here to chime in and just listen to you beauties and, just share thoughts and not feel judged.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This is definitely a safe space. So we want you to feel safe. We want others to feel safe. So anybody out there who's listening and you want to come and join us for, one of our episodes, by all means, let us know. We're here for it. And we're here to, just like B said, to have that camaraderie and, come together and just be ourselves, just be silly for an hour, maybe, even if that, cry together, be silly, get pissed off at each other. Who knows? Anyway, but at the end of it, we're all forgiving, right? Right.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and dive into this topic, which, she brought up, and I'm like, oh my God, that's it. So the topic of taking care of others while trying not to neglect ourselves, because we all, as women and as mothers, we do this every day, all day. It's almost like, Mom, where's this? Honey, where's that? Did you look? So, let's start with that, because it's just one of those things you're like, Mom. I'm like, okay, my name's not Mom for a minute. Okay. So it's Mom, Trish, or, I don't know, having friends sometimes call you and just like unburden themselves on you. And sometimes that does take a lot out of you, especially if it's all negative. And then you're like, okay, I just lost my strength for today. So, but it does take a toll. And then what do we do what do we do as women and moms to help ourselves get out of that little rut that we just put ourselves in? Do we take time? Now listen, my sister's got this routine every day that I'm jealous of. Oh my God. The whole mask thing, Jamie. Oh my word. I love that. I'm like, that right there, just to have that time and just to sit would be amazing. So,
Well, that's why I say disclaimer, right? I'm an empty nester. It kind of, I have a little bit more time than you lovely ladies and many moms out there. So, but even before the mask thing and all that, and I was, you know, a mom of Devin and he was running around doing all kinds of stuff. I personally, y'all know, I enjoy the casino very much. So that at one point was my like self care. Wasn't the greatest idea. Let me put that out there too. But I tried to still find ways to not neglect myself completely. I still feel like I did because now I don't know who I am. Now that he's not, you know what I mean? Now that he is gone and moving on with his life, I don't know who Jamie is anymore. I've always been Devin's mom. So for those of you out there still have kids at home and you're trying to do that, I mean, oh my gosh, super women, right? I mean, it's a lot.
mhm.
A lot. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I mean, of course, I shared with you ladies that that I have a 26 and a 25-year-old. But prior to that, I mean, just I was always the mom that I drop everything for my kids because I wanted them to know that I was present. And I thank my husband very, very much because throughout their first years of life, I mean, since birth up until they started pre-K or kindergarten, he didn't let me work, which I'm so thankful for because I was constantly there. I was volunteering at the school, going on the field trips because he's like, I want you to be there. And so it was just like taking care of my kids and just being mom. But then sometimes I would be drained because it's like, even though I wasn't working, it's like you in the back of your head, you're like, oh, you have a field trip, you want to help the teachers, you signed up to be room mom or something. And then it was like, well, that was more than a job. It's like it kind of drained you a little bit. And I was just like, wow. I mean, and then they started school, and then I went back into the work field. I started working, and then I started gaining weight. I started feeling different things, and I was like, wait, this is not right. I'm not taking care of myself. I'm taking care of everybody else. I am working, to contribute to the home. But it's like, what are you doing to take care of yourself? And it took many, many years. And I want to say maybe I've been 10 years into this now. And I called it a WOG. So I would walk a jog.
Oh.
And little by little, that's where I started picking up running. And now that's how I take care of myself. And I am a sucker for sunrises, for sunsets. And I will take myself outside, even if it's just 15 minutes, or like I walk down to the park and then I come back. It's like that breaks me away from home, my kids. It's like, I mean, you guys are fine. You guys have been fed. Everybody's clean. We're good. And I would tell my husband, I'll be right back. I'm like, just give me 30 minutes. I'm like, I'm just going to walk down to the park, whatever. And now it's like, I don't work. I quit my job of almost 11 years. And I just needed a breather. I needed a break. I pretty much called it retirement, early retirement without a check. But my husband was like, it's okay. Take care of yourself. And then we got a puppy, and now it's like, I have my jogging buddy, and I'm enjoying those things. But sometimes I still sit back and it's like, I feel like I don't give myself enough. I feel like I don't give myself enough of what I deserve because I give so much of myself back. I want to take care of everybody. I want to make sure that everybody's okay. I want to check in with everybody. But sometimes I feel like time just escapes me.
Mhm.
And I'm just like just 5 minutes, text so-and-so. Hey, Jeanette, how are you? Have a good day. Smiley face, something. But then I feel like I'm a horrible friend because I forgot to text Jeanette, or I forgot to call Trish, or send Jamie a message. And I'm just like, what kind of friend am I? Am I a really good friend? Or is it okay to forget and just sit back and be like, dang, I forgot, but let's try again tomorrow?
Yeah.
I mean, that's all you can do sometimes, you know?
Well, you
that-
have my eyes watering.
Sorry.
I almost cut it out. Nope. I almost, and because you're crying, I feel like what you're talking about. And
Mhm.
the reason I say that, I'm hoping as you were talking, I'm hoping we all have friends who understand that I may not talk to you every day. I may not reach out to you all the time, but when life settles down, it's not that I don't think about you every day. That's what I tell everybody. I think about everybody every day.
Yeah.
Everybody every day.
Mhm.
There's just sometimes I don't have anything really to say much about, you know what I mean? But I hope we all have friends and family who know that this world is crazy and everybody's busy. And like you said earlier, it's so fast moving that
Yes.
a lot of people don't take that time. And so it's hard because I think we talked about this before. We beat ourselves up
Mhm.
before anybody else really does. You know, sometimes people aren't even thinking that way about us, but we feel it like,
Yeah.
you know.
Mhm.
And then anyway, I'm gonna let my sister talk because she was gonna say something, and I just went into like,
I said I was about to say you're probably thinking the same thing that your friends are thinking, because maybe they're just as busy as you are. They're just like, oh my God, I forgot to call B today. Oh my God, I need to try again. Oh my God, that kind of thing. I mean, honestly, I envy the women who have other women in their lives that they can actually even text or call or anything else like that. I don't have a group of women here. I live in Georgia. My group of women are those two right there, on Thursdays and Saturdays, because we talk to each other Thursday and Saturday because of this podcast. And I'm grateful because I love it. I love every minute of it. I feel like I'm closer to my sister. I feel like I'm getting to know Jeanette better. I mean, I am absolutely loving every minute of it. So, but that is why I created the podcast, is for women to come together. So, to be each other's shoulder if needed, that kind of thing. And if you miss us one day, you'll catch us the next, girl, that kind of thing. We'll catch each other, that kind of thing. So I love being in a friendship where we're all there for each other. Like, even when you were talking about the support that you had from your husband, I'm like, oh my God, what? So, like, you're just going to take 30 minutes. That's it. And he's okay with that. Oh my God. That's just, that to me, that's amazing. You have a husband who's supportive of you, who you can say, hey, I just need 30 minutes. Let me just walk out and I'll be right back. As long as you come back, you're good, that kind of thing. But what I'm saying is, like, he's like, okay, honey, whatever you need. Even at the very beginning of your motherhood and you were there for your kids, wow, that speaks volumes. It really does.
yeah,
That's amazing.
That
Well,
is.
and it's like, part of, what your podcast is. It's faith, love, and coffee.
Now, what?
The
Not my
coffee
coffee
part,
today.
the coffee part is solely like my husband. It is what, Jeanette, like 90 feels like 100 degrees here in Texas. But my husband every day will take his coffee.
Amen.
I grasp my faith so much, and I grab that love that he's given me these 26 years that we've been together. I mean, it's amazing
Yes.
what he does, and I cannot thank God enough for it, because like you said, Trish, he's given me those moments. He's given me that time. And it goes back to, it's like, okay, so he's giving me that. I want to make sure that I'm giving him that and more. Don't miss the coffee. Please get up at 5:30 in the morning and get the water going, because his is what is it? The instant coffee. It's like you boil the water and then you mix it. That's his coffee. He loves that coffee.
Woo, that is strong stuff.
Yeah. I and it goes back to, how did this bring me to you guys? Jeanette opened the invitation. I took it in, and it's like, I want to be here and listen to you ladies, and just like you said, Tris, just listen to each other, have that virtual shoulder to be on, have a little fight, but at the end, it's like, we're sisters.
Yes.
Mhm.
We're sisters, and we're all going through something. And it's just like, maybe
Yes, girl.
and this is how I see it. It's like, I tell my kids, and I was like, I sound like a broken record, but I feel like every time I tell them, everything happens for a reason. And there's a reason Jeanette said, hey, B, come listen to us, because I feel like this is my little of taking care of me by being with you guys and listening and being able to type in my little comment and say so-and-so and this and that, and then just get feedback and say, it's okay, or that's a good point, or what about this? Have you thought about doing this? And it fills your cup with thankfulness, because that's how I feel like I'm being taken care of.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. And I am now hopefully going to let Jeanette speak at some point.
I know, right?
I know. I'm like, it's Jeanette's turn.
Because she brought you on, and now we've all been like, yes, B, oh my gosh, B. And Jeanette's like,
Jeanette's gonna say, no more B.
No.
No, I feel so bad though, because B and I, we talk, and I've got something that I've been meaning to mail to her now. I'm not even joking, y'all, probably for a good 2 months, I think. She's like, oh, well, we can get together and have lunch or something. But you ladies know how crazy my life is. Like, y'all know, like, I'm leaving tomorrow to go to South Texas again, and I'll be there for like a week and a half. And so I've got this package for B just sitting there, and I'm like, okay, I need to mail it, right? But I'm like, oh, but then I want to give it to her in person, whatever. And then my schedule's crazy.
And that's okay. Whenever I do get it, I promise you I'll be as excited and happy about it. It's like when you gave me that cute little B baseball cap.
Yeah. And it's crazy because I've seen her, but it's like I see her at races, right? And I don't necessarily want to take it there, because then she has to find a place to put it during the event. And then, she'll have to, when she forgets it, and then that person, they take it and they, it's just, there's a lot.
Yeah.
So my question, knowing how busy Jeanette is, I know that just most people. Jeanette, what do you do though to take care? Honestly, to take care of yourself? Like, what do you do?
I've been journaling a lot, and I work on my craft stuff or whatever. And like this morning, I got together with friends and we went for a walk, and then we went to go have breakfast. And I want to get back to doing that more regularly, because I used to do that all the time. But then Dad died, and then, life changed, and, like B said, started gaining weight, and everything that I loved just went away. So I'm trying to get back into that so I can go walk with B and her dog that just loves to lick my legs. Her dog was loving on me when I saw her dog last week. So I'm like, oh yeah, her dog loves me. But yeah, I need to try to get back into doing that, and it's hard. Like when I go to Mom's house and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go for a walk. At the end of the day, I'm going to go for a walk before the day's over. Yeah, that never happens.
Yeah.
Never
It's
happens.
hot. It's hot right now anyway down there. So
I'm surprised it's not hot where you're at either.
it's warm, but it's like we had a nice breeze today, but it's not like anything down South Texas wise. It's pretty
I don't
crazy.
even know what's going on down South Texas wise right now, because I got a little surprised when I saw that orange grove, the bowl that just sinks into everything down there. is like in the mid 80s and like high 80s and low 90s. And I'm like, what? That's unusual. So at least this time of year, because summer yesterday was first day of summer. Happy summer, y'all.
Yeah.
So, but all I have to say is this: I've only got 90 more days until fall. So,
Yes. And I'm on that countdown with you. Yes. Keep us
Yes,
accountable
indeed.
with that countdown.
Yes. Oh my God.
oh gosh,
It was so gross this morning, y'all. Like, not to get off topic, but it was like 84, I think. And we had been walking probably for a good 20 minutes, and I had sweat just like going down my arms, and it was disgusting. And I was even like going, why am I this sweaty? And it's not even 100 degrees, but the humidity is just horrible. But
yeah. Well,
Okay.
we're all ladies here, okay? So I was at the store the other day and I decided to wear a dress. Y'all. Y'all know when your thighs start rubbing together and then it's all hot and everything else, and you're wearing a dress and you just feel like that sweat. It's like dripping to the floor. It's not, but you almost feel like, oh my God, I really got to keep my legs together. Otherwise this is going to start spilling,
But I'm pretty sure you look gorgeous, and you were taking care of you because you wanted to wear a dress. You wanted to look
Yes.
beautiful.
Yeah, I did. But I mean, it was just one of those things where I was like, okay, I need to go sit down somewhere really fast.
I'm going to
Or
say,
get home and get some shorts on.
I'm going to say two things about my sister. She is from Texas, like born in Texas. You won't ever get y'all out of her. She's a y'all, and she sounds like she never left. And the second thing is about the whole dress thing and the sweating. Okay, most of us in this group are 40 and older, right? So we go through a little something, whether it's Perry, the menopause, or your post. It seems like once that process starts, things just go way out of whack. Like, what is happening?
Once you turn 40 anyway.
Hey, but then I realized, no, like, even though you're on the other side of this madness,
Amen, sister.
I'm in the like pre-stages, maybe potential. I don't know, but the sweat is real, the emotions are real, the everything is real. Like, it's a struggle.
I'm going to piggyback off of that. I know we're kind of falling off the subject, but that is very true. Okay, I'll hit 45 in November, Lord willing, first. But I had a hysterectomy when I was 37.
Oh, wow.
So I had fibroids. So we thought we were pregnant.
One?
I'm sorry?
Yeah, a full hysterectomy?
Well, she saved my ovaries on this side.
Partial.
Because
Okay,
the fibroids were on this side, and my body thought we were pregnant.
Oh, Lordy.
Yeah, so that was kind of chaos. But what Jamie's saying the other day, I think it was last week. So we were here at the house. Yeah, it was last Saturday, and we were here at the house, and the kids are here. My husband's home, and all of a sudden, I start walking around, and I'm doing this. He's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Está caliente. It's hot." And he's like, "No, it's not." He's sitting on the couch, and because I like to keep blankets on my couch. So he's like wrapped up with a little blanket on the couch. I'm like, "Está caliente." And he's like, "It's not. It's chilly. Está fresco." And I'm like, okay, whatever. So I come and sit. So the area I'm here, this is my scrapbooking area, journaling stuff.
Oh.
And so I came and sat here, and I just started playing with stuff like occupy my brain, kind of take care of myself again, and be like, let me play with the stuff I like to play. Like I buy stickers, I buy all this stuff, pens, stickers, because this is the things I couldn't do when I was little. So now I have adult money, so I buy stuff like that. And so I sat here, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, I'm cold. It's cold. Babe, can you? He's like, dang it, woman. It's like, first you were hot, now you're cold. Who understands you?
Exactly.
But it's that. It's like we go through these motions like, oh boy. It's like, it's hot. No, it's cold. It's like, how do you take care of yourself with that part?
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, it's, even though we got off for like a second for the subject, you really, as you guys were talking, I'm wondering, because we are at this stage in our lives, I didn't think this deeply about stuff at 25. If I was a good friend, if I was like, you know what I mean, taking care of myself, we just did stuff, you know what I mean? And not, in my world, not always the right thing, but different story. Now, though, as we've gotten older, now we're like, hey, you know what? No, all these years we've been doing all these things. Now it's time to, without sounding selfish, right? Look at yourself and be like, how am I preserving me? That's really what it boils down to. You have to preserve yourself as much as possible in this like crazy world. So it's hard navigating this time of my life. I'm telling you.
I try to tell myself it's okay to be selfish sometimes, though, Jamie. I have used that word in my thoughts and in my prayers, because I tell God, I'm like, is it okay for me to be selfish? Because it's like, I need to take care of me so I can keep taking care of everybody else. So I can have strength, so I can have the prayers, the words that sometimes somebody else needs to hear, or just the strength to give that hug when it's needed and not say anything, but just know that with my hug and me being healthy to approach you and hug you, just to make you feel that everything's okay, or it's gonna be okay.
Yeah, that's what counts too sometimes. Sometimes that's all somebody needs.
Yeah, I have a hard time with that, about the being selfish part, right? Like, sometimes I'm like, oh, I want it. And then I'm like, but is that being selfish? Because I know that really I need to be taking care of this for this person, or doing this, you know. But here lately, I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to be selfish, and I'm going to take a weekend, and I'm going to go to a hotel or something. And I'm just going to take that whole weekend and just write, because I need to finish writing my book, because I'm making a couple of changes and I need to do that. And then there's something else that I'm working on. And I'm like, I just want to be selfish and just go like lock myself somewhere away from the mom, honey, you know, the dog, the work, and, you know, just work, and, you know, the work laptop and stuff like that. But then I'm like, but is that being selfish? Like, to want to just walk away for a couple of days to go do what I want to focus on? I mean, is that really being selfish? Is that bad that I feel that I want to do that?
I think sometimes we need to look at those moments as survival.
Yeah.
And only because if we know that we don't take that kind of time for ourselves, we'll go crazy. Honestly. And then they won't even know what the hell hit them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, that just,
Yeah.
it's just one of those things that you really have to think about. I actually thought about doing that myself, Jeanette, actually taking a weekend and just going off by myself and just being, you know, I mean, I actually thought about Jamie. I'm like, we've never taken our sister vacation.
Do
You know,
it.
'cause we've always wanted to do it. And I really want it just to be us, you know, because there's so much stuff that we've navigated through these, oh my God, over these years and stuff, that sometimes just being alone and together is good, you know, whether it's a cup of coffee or hell, a couple of bottles of wine, you know, that kind of thing, that, you know, just sharing our really raw moments. I think one of the best things that we did, and I think it was during, was it Mark's funeral or was it my dad? No, because you were down there for Mark's. And that's when we all opened up, remember? Huh?
Oh, that I came for your dad too, but I didn't go to the funeral or anything, but I came to like
Yeah.
support.
But I can't remember if it was dad's or if it was Mark's funeral, but this is like when we actually had a really candid conversation. And although there were things I really didn't want to hear, it was so good to sit there and hear everything that was being said, and everything was open and honest and raw. I mean, just absolutely raw. You know, some of the things that came out of my mother's mouth were shocking. Because it happened so long ago, you know, and some things I understood, some things I didn't understand, but I'm like going, at this point in time, I'm like, man, that happened 40 something years ago. What am I supposed to do about that now? You know? So, but those are the kind of moments that, you know, I would love to say, that I have that open and honest relationship with Jamie. And I know that we do, because this girl has talked to me about some stuff, y'all. And I know
Yeah.
I've talked to her about some stuff when I'm alone.
And see, and that's something beautiful, because it's like you guys are able, and like you said, Trish, that there was things that were said, and maybe you weren't expecting that type of conversation, but it falls under a true friendship will listen to you and tell you exactly how they feel about what's being conversed. But at the same time, it's like, I want you to know how I really feel about this, but don't take it the wrong way. I need you to understand where I'm coming from. And you're going to sit there and listen to her the way she listened to you. And it's just like you said, Trish, at the beginning, it's like, we're going to listen to each other. We might not agree, but at the end of the day, we're sisters. We're going to be there regardless of, and it's such a beautiful thing that you guys have that. And you need to, you definitely, like, I will pray for that. You guys need to have that getaway together, because so real quick background story. I met my husband summer of 1993. He moved across the street and he was the cutest thing I ever seen. He's 4 years older than me. Okay. So I was 12.
Oh gosh.
So yeah, there you go. Okay. I'll let you guys do the math from there. And then I got pregnant in high school and I moved in with him summer of 99. Jose was born in March. So my son Jose was at my graduation in May. And then 2 months later, I jumped across the street and I moved in with my husband. But from that day forward, July 11 of 99, I never left my husband's side, as far as me taking off for a trip, having girl time, which I really never had any type of girlfriends that stuck with me. And so I was like, that's okay, because I'm married now. I'm supposed to take care of my kids. I'm supposed to take care of my husband. Okay. Maybe, I don't know, maybe about 10 years ago. I think it's about 10 years ago. My high school friend invited us for a girls' trip with our prayer group to Waco.
Oh, Waco. Okay.
I was scared to my knees because I had never left my husband. I had never left my kids. And keep in mind, my kids by now, they're teenagers. I've always been with Joel. We've always done stuff together. The only time that he had left my side was because of work. But that was it. And so when I sat there and I told him, well, we're going to have a girls' trip. It's the prayer group and it's all women. And we're going to stay at this big old house, whatever. And he said, go. I mean, if you want to go, go. And he was like, and here's like, okay, like Jeanette said, I'm like, can I be selfish and say, I'm going to go? Can I be selfish and say, my kids are going to be okay? My husband's, oh no, here comes B. Okay, I'm going to do it. But guess what I did, y'all? I prepped meals for that whole weekend. We left on a Thursday. So there was meals Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I came home Sunday by 3-4 o'clock. And I was like, and my friend Lily, she was like, you look like a lost puppy dog throughout the whole trip, because I had never been separated from my husband. I have always been with them. And so I was like, but now it's like, I go on scrapbooking retreats and it's just like a 20-minute trip down the road where we hang out. And I don't spend the night there. I can spend the night, but I don't spend the night because I come home to my human. And my kids aren't home, but I still come home to him. And so I'll be coming in maybe like 11:30, 12 o'clock midnight. But I'm like, okay, I'm home. But it's like Jeanette said, it's like, is it okay to be selfish? But I feel like if I don't take care of myself, like Trish said, we're going to go crazy. And scrapbooking and journaling and memory keeping for me has done so much for me. And sometimes I feel like I wish I had somebody. Now that I know Jeanette does that, I might kind of reel her in more.
Of course.
But sometimes it's just, I want to sit with other friends and just, even if we're just gathered around a big table and just, here's all my stickers, here's my stamp kits, like let's preserve memories, because that's how I feel like I heal myself. I live through pictures. I live by writing. So it's like you have your planner and you have things you need to do, but at the same time, I feel like, oh, this is what went on this weekend, and I'll create a whole bunch of little picture collage and slap it on there, and ta-da! And now it's like, this looks really cool. But that's how I feel like little by little I've been able to take care of myself. But even then, sometimes it's like, is it okay? Like I feel good living it and hanging out, but then afterwards it's like, what, was that okay?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
That's really good though. Really good.
Yeah. Oh my, I mean, I don't know. It's hard because you have been married and you've been with him for so long that I can see how that happens, you know? But at the same time, okay, me, for instance, I will have been married 8 years in July, and we are currently separated. So am I was single for so long and by myself that I didn't have that same feeling. I mean, you know what I mean? Like I could leave, and I really didn't feel selfish. I was like, I'm kind of liking this whole vibe. Not to the point that that's what led me to my decision to like separate, but it's just more of the fact that you even felt so guilty. You know what I mean? Like I listened to that and I'm like, that's what that looks like. You know what I mean? That's what a marriage where two people just, you know, can't get enough of each other, or just, you know, love each other so much or whatever. And I mean, my sister has come for a little while to visit, and I know she wasn't, as much as she enjoyed it, she still was like, I miss them. I miss you know what I mean? Like I miss my family. I love, you know, so she was. And so, and I know Jeanette leaves her family too to go, you know, come to South Texas and stuff. And so, God, to listen to that, I'm just like in awe. Like that is so cute. Really, I'm just sitting there like, oh my gosh, you won't even go spend the night just a little ways down the road. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I envy that. I do.
That is the marriage to be envious of.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but it is. It really is. Because even when I went to I went to my sister's house last year, and I was like, I need 3 weeks away. I need 3 weeks away. Because everything was escalating. They depended on me for so much. And I'm just like, okay, I need time.
Yeah.
The 3 weeks that I was there, I did feel a sense of calm, of, you know, just like, it was just wonderful. And just listening, but calling them and talking to them was great. But at the same time, sometimes they would call me, well, she did this and he did that. I'm like, this is a grown man with a 13 or 13-year-old kid. Okay. And I'm like, y'all are calling me for what? Yeah. No.
I really did. I was again. She was like, are you for real right now?
For real. And I also went the year before that. I had gone to Texas for I think it was 2 weeks before my family came up, because my stepmother had surgery. And in those 2 weeks, everything was like chill. It was almost like I was in my zen. And then the moment they walked through the door, it was like complete chaos again.
Oh boy.
It was like one of those things, you know, you're like, okay, I'm going to be so happy to see my family because they're coming down. And then the moment they walk in, it's like instant anxiety. And you're like, what? So, but then your life is like that. And then when you have those moments of peace, for me, not everybody's like me, you know, because I got married when I was 31. So I still feel that aloneness, you know, before I got married. And we've been married, this year will be 25 years for us.
Oh, wow.
So, because we got married in 2000, you got married in 1999, you know. So, but he and I had such a different relationship than you did, because it wasn't like, oh my God, I'm so like love and in love. Oh my God, I can't be without you kind of love. that kind of thing. I'm like, you need to go out with your friends. See ya, please go. And I'm a person who enjoys her time alone. Even with my daughter, she goes, "Can I?" I'm like, "Give mommy a minute." Because
Yeah.
even when I get off of work, okay, y'all. So like, I hate to, I don't mean to hog this or anything, but I just started a new job, 3 weeks ago on 6/2. So yeah, almost 3 weeks ago. I get off right at 5 o'clock, which is not normal for me because my other job, it was complete chaos, and I didn't get out of work till sometimes, I don't know, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 11, from 8 a.m. to whatever time. Yeah, but even when I get off at 5 o'clock, I stay in my room for at least another 15 to 30 minutes to kind of like zen out before I go into the chaos. that's my self-care. Because I'm just like, okay, now I need to go down and make dinner. Now I need to go like do this and that. And that's some of the things you didn't even bring up, B, because while you're over here being with your kids and everything else, even when you came home, I'm sure you were probably making dinner, making sure the clothes were done, making sure everything was dusted and swept and mopped and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's a lot.
I would come home during my lunch break.
You're like a full-time for
clean something.
Really?
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I'd be like, okay, I'll just have a sandwich or something, or whatever was leftovers, like, have a little container, pop it in the microwave. Okay, let me go spray down the shower. And then I'd be like, okay, goop, 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 goop. And then with the broom or something in the shower. And my mom my mom up to date, she tells me, she's like, mija, like, give yourself time. It's going to be okay. The house is going to be dirty regardless. She's like, it's not going to go anywhere. I'm like, but Ma, it's like, I just feel like I'm slacking. And she's like, no, you're not slacking. It's just like, you're being mom, you're being wife, you're being a house, what is it? A domestic engineer. It's not a housekeeper.
Oh, well, now there's a word.
Yeah. Domestic engineer. So it's like, so right now I'm currently unemployed, out in the real world, but I am a domestic engineer in my home.
Amen, sister. Put that on your resume.
Exactly, right?
Yes. I'm a recruiter, so please put that on your resume.
Yes. They're going to look at me like, what?
Yeah, they say that if you break down everything that you do in your home, right, like the different jobs that you do, and you put down like certain salaries for each one, like you're doing the jobs of all these other people in your one person and your mom and your wife and your coworker and your, whatever. And they talked about that. There was some article about it, about how each task is worth a certain amount of money. And they're like, you'll never see that, of course, in your lifetime or, what have you. But how important those things are and how valuable those tasks that you do are to your family. Like, there was a whole article about it. I wish I could remember, I didn't read it all because I glanced at it because obviously it was probably while I was in between doing this and that. But I remember going, dang, check this out. And then I moved on to something else. But
I think I actually saw something like that for like a woman who was her husband was divorcing her and said that, like I'm the head of this family, I'm the one who makes the money. She doesn't make the money. She doesn't do anything, blah, blah, blah. She came up with that list. Like you were saying, Jeanette, this is how much you owe me because this is what I've done for you every day of my life.
Yep.
Every day that we've been married, this is what you owe me. And it was like up into the millions. I was like, holy mother of God.
Oh, yeah.
Take notes.
There's no way that there's no way there is an amount of money that could ever come close to what we deserve as moms and wives. And there's just not. And we give ourselves freely, we do. We give ourselves freely because we love our family, and they are who make us, maybe it's not a version of you that you like very much, but the fact is you're there with them and you're there helping them and you're there being there for them and you're there cooking for them and cleaning and, taking care of the boo-boos or, taking care of egos. Talk about that for a second. So I
Whole other-
mean, you're there to do what, Jamie?
That's a whole other segment.
That's a whole other segment. But that just it's just there's just not enough. But there's not enough money. But I think the one thing that maybe we want to hear is thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't ever get it.
Yeah.
We don't ever
Or you
get it.
get it-
Thank
You get it on Mother's Day or
yeah,
your birthday.
or some other day.
Yeah, those special
Yeah.
occasions.
Now my husband's getting better about that because he's like, oh my God, he's like, did you do this? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, thank you so much for doing that. And I'm like, I'm shocked that those words are coming out of his mouth because I'm just like, wait, what did you just say?
Yeah.
So now we're beginning to pick up on it and try to thank each other for little things that we do,
I have
so.
Worry about that. So I'm visiting my dad and my stepmom, and they've been married. It will be 40 years next year, 26, whatever. So 39, whatever. And this is my first time to really be here like that, right? Over all these years. And y'all, even after all these years, of course, my stepmom, she'll say something like, kiss my behind if he says something.
I love when she says that.
I mean, she really doesn't say behind. I'm just being nice.
Yeah.
But y'all know my dad was questioning, like, oh, did you call this place? Did you do that? And I said, she takes care of everything. And after almost 40 years, you're still questioning whether she called and did. Like, that's not something she's not going to do. Like, she is on top of her stuff. And so when you guys have been talking, you guys have chosen your family, right? You have chosen to do those things. You have chosen. That's what it boils down to at the end of the day. You choose to stay and be part of that because you do love them, because you do, you know what I mean? So like, that's also something to be, proud of and everything like that. I don't think y'all realize. Y'all make that choice every day to still give and do.
We do. Jeanette?
Yes. I'm just sitting here listening.
I know, but you're so quiet.
I'm just sitting here in my head going, okay, when I'm done with this, I got to go do this. And so, my brain is working. And then I'm sitting here going, B, I'm going to have to add you to our, we go out of town sometimes to go do fun little races. I'm going to have to kidnap you one day.
Please.
Yeah.
Cool.
We were actually talking about that at breakfast this morning because I haven't joined the group in a couple of years because I'm busy. And one of the girls is like, okay, I'm ready for you to come back and join us. You've got to go with us. And so we were talking about that this morning. So as we're sitting here, I'm looking at B and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to have to pull B in on this one going, hey, girl.
Yeah.
Because you're a runner too.
Yes. Well, right now I'm walking because, life, but it's still fun. Like last week, not to throw it up, but we had this 5K and I was helping to sweep the 5K, which is be the last person to come in so they knew everybody was in off the course. Y'all, I had a man with me that was 95 years old. 95. He had just had an appendectomy and had a pacemaker put in a week apart from each other, and he's still in recovery. And that man was out there. So I'm like, you know what? I cannot feel sorry for myself being going, oh, I'm too tired, or, oh, I can't. No, 95-year-old man out there. If he can be out there, so can I. So I'm like, wow. So that's why I'm trying to get back into, doing that thing for me because I used to do it all the time. But I do miss that time. That was my time to be decompressed from work and decompressed from life because during that time it was me and whoever my group was with, and everything else was there. But during that time, we were just there. Like my family knew, don't call me unless the house is burning down, somebody's bleeding, there's a bone sticking out. Mom knew. I'd call mom going, hey, I'm going here for the next hour. If I don't answer your call, this is why. Or like if it's an emergency, call me, hang up, and call me back again until I answer, because then I knew it would be an emergency, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Because, I'm like, I'm not going to answer the phone. I'm not going to answer text messages. It better be that somebody is, with a broken bone or bleeding or something. But your dad's here. So your dad's got you, But yeah, so that's why I'm trying to get back into that. So today they were like, one of the girls was like, I really miss you, and you need to take a trip. When are we doing this? And so we were talking about it. So guess what? you're going to be on that list.
Looking
Some of
forward to it.
bring the husbands, but it's not the same because they can't be free. Like they can't just sit down with us and talk about all the crap that we
Yeah.
talk about because
Yeah.
they have to entertain their spouse or whatever. So I mean, you're more than welcome to bring him, but just know he may be sick of us when it's all said and done.
No, I'm pretty sure he'll be like, no, it's okay, you can go.
Yeah.
Now we trade off. So because we both we hunt. So like dove season kicks in September 1st.
Yep.
And now, I mean, he's actually like it turns out we have the scrapbooking retreat. It's called Croptober, and
Well, that's awesome.
and so it sometimes it lands on the weekend that he already made plans to go hunting. So I'm like, you know what, just go enjoy your time with your cousins and your friends, and I'll see you when you get back. And I'll be and it's crazy because I'm allowed to stay over there, but I still come home, y'all. Even though there's nobody home, I will come home. I don't stay over there.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. You just are comfortable in your home. Yeah.
I miss that. You said you're a hunter, and we would used to sit back on my dad's front porch, and when it was dove season, we would just sit there with rifles, just shooting the doves that would just fly across. And then the freezer would be full of dove for a while.
I didn't ever kill any doves, but I was the bird dog that would have to go get the bird that was just shot and killed. They would send me, and one of my cousins would say, if you scream or yell or anything like that, I'm going to shoot you. So I had to go pick up the bird, and I'd be like freaking out. But if I knew, my cousin was mean to me, y'all. That's a whole other podcast. But yeah, he's like, if you scream, I'm going to shoot you, and I'd be like, sometimes the birds are flopping around because they're not 100%.
Yeah, they're not fully. Yeah,
I was the bird dog.
Well, I'll show you. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to like move you guys around. It's because my hunter pal in training, he started whimpering. He needed to go out. So this is him, y'all. I don't know if y'all could see him. Here, let me open the door. Say hi, Benelli.
Oh my
There he goes. He came inside. There he goes.
Hi, baby. Oh, you're so cute.
Look at that tail. That tail's just a wagon.
Oh, you're so cute.
So he'll be going with us. He'll be the bird dog. But that he's my new companion. He'll be 5 months old on the 23rd, and
he's little.
Yeah, he's still a puppy, and we're still going through a lot of the puppy stuff. As far as he decided he wanted to rip out our above ground sprinkler that waters our extra plants that are part of our supplies for our business. I'm like, that's a big no-no.
What kind of dog is he?
He's a Jack Russell Terrier.
He's got little brown spots. That's what it was.
Yeah, and we've been told he. Do you guys remember the mask, Milo?
Yes.
He looks a lot like him. The only thing is, Milo in the movie has more brown spots, like in his back and stuff. He only has a brown spot on his butt, like about that big. My oldest, my 26-year-old, when we were thinking about names, he wanted to call him Sizzle because he had burnt ends. So his face is that brownish part, and then his butt is just that little. But my younger one, he was like, well, I mean, since he's going to be our bird dog, he goes, why don't you just name him after one of the shotguns? Benelli, and it stuck. So that's
cute. All right, ladies. Well, it's getting into an hour, almost an hour. So do we have any last thoughts for today's topic?
I think we need to remember it's okay to be selfish every now and then. I think that's one of the takeaways. It's okay every now and then. I mean, not like all the time, if there's people that obviously we need to take care of, because I know we all take care of our families and, our extended families to a point. But I think every now and then it's okay to say, you know what, I'm taking a breather today. You're on your own.
Yeah.
And
stop using that word selfish. We have to get that word out. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, every now and then. It's if you were to do it every day that people would be like, man, that lady is.
I know, but I just feel like I'm being selfish because I'm taking away from whatever.
I know. That's the only thing, though. I wish we could come up with a different, like, different way to say it. So you could be like, you know what? I'm taking a me day, and then that way you can keep track of like how many times you feel like you've said that, and you really don't. Like, I know y'all don't.
Or just saying something like, I'm just taking a little down time right now,
Yeah.
just to reconnect with myself. So, or something along that lines, because, that is really what you're trying to do, is reconnect with yourself. And like we all have said, and what we all have done, we've lost ourselves in our relationships. It's like, who are we outside of these relationships that we've created, So, and we are the ones who created, because we continue to stay in the relationships that we're in, which are beautiful relationships. Don't get me wrong. They're beautiful, but we still in some way, shape, or form have lost who we are, or we're trying to evolve into something else. So, but I do think it's time to reconnect with ourselves.
I think that's the word. I need some reconnect time.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All righty, y'all. Well, that is the end of our podcast today. So I'm going to try to do this without looking at a piece of paper. Y'all remember to keep faith, savor every sip of life. And then until the next time, you guys, keep brewing positivity. We'll see you the next time. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
If I can get this to go. Oh yeah, that's right. I don't have my. Oh my gosh, hang on just a second.